Check those vocal cords after that one.
Westenberg steps in to begin things, trying to climb towards 60 degrees some way, somehow. But after the cooler conditions yesterday morning, we'll take it.
Yeah, no complaints today.
Molina ready in our first pitch of our game is fouled right back for strike one. Brian Hale is our plate umpire. Vic Correll umpires at first. Ronnie Teague at second. Javero January will be at third base. They're not the men in the blue. They're the men in black today. We like to call a day like this afternoon at Baumwalker a comet day. It happens once every 40 years when there's not a hint of wind.
Yeah,
not a cloud in the sky and no wind.
I don't think I've ever seen the flag just hang there.
Pitches up and in to Westenberg.
The question is, like, how often do they have to replace that flag so it doesn't look tattered?
I mean, it's trying to move right there, barely. Old Glory on the pole and left is just the limp.
Yeah, this is one thing that this Cowboy lineup has done. They have not been afraid to work the counts, trying to get that pitch count up for those Arkansas starters.
Saw both Brady Tiger, Hagen Smith yesterday. Tiger went 88 pitches and 4 scoreless. Hagen Smith went 64 in 4 innings. Of course, he'll start on one shorter day's rest next Friday.
Yeah, I definitely think that was by design, and totally agree with that decision by Matt Hobbs.
Molina's last 2 starts, though, he's coming off 5 scoreless against Michigan and 5 innings, 1 run against Murray State last time out. A 3-2 pitch, and Westenberg will foul tip one into the glove of White. I think he had checked the swing, but just made enough contact, and White was able to hold on for the strikeout.
Molina climbs that ladder with that fastball right there, and you can see just a good check swing, but it's all on the audio sound of that home plate umpire. Brian Hale said, nope, I heard it. It is strike 3.
Yeah, there was no argument. I thought there might be. This is Cooper Hext. Take strike 1. Hext went 1 for 4 in the second game. He was on base 3 times with a hit and a couple of walks in game 1. That one drilled Hext. Maybe it's just me. The number of hit batters we've seen this year, for and against, has been a big number. That is now 28 times the Cowboys have been hit by a pitch in this their 16th game.
Yeah, that's quite a few. And it's not like this team really stands on top of the plate. That pitch completely got away from Mason Molina. And a guy that really lives on command, that one was way inside.
You feel like the Cowboys might be a little bit snake bitten when it comes to runners left on base, and sometimes you can change that narrative in game 3. They stranded 12 in the first game, 10 in the second game. I'm going to tell you about a college baseball game that happened yesterday a little bit later on. You're not going to believe, so stay tuned for that one when it comes to runs and left on. This is Chase Keaton. Pops one straight up. It'll be behind the roof and out of play.
Yeah, one thing about Mason Molina is he's not afraid to use the whole strike zone. He'll throw that fastball up in the zone, even though it doesn't have tremendous velocity. He does have some good carry, so it stays up in the zone. It doesn't miss down the middle of the plate.
And I think that's why Arkansas really wanted to marry that pitch with a changeup, because once you start looking up and he gets your eye level elevated, then that changeup drops, and he's really giving you a lot to cover. Off and rolling is Hext. The throw down is on line, but not in time. Stolen base number 5 for Hext. Got an 81-mile-an-hour pitch to run on, and swipe the base for McNeese.
It's about as good as Hudson White can do. Great. You see the shuffle right there by Hext. He had a great jump and just a bang-bang play at second base. Hext slid into that right side or the back side of that base to avoid the tag.
Next one is high to Keaton.
I like the aggressive move by the Cowboys to really take a few chances on the base paths. They got to create some offense.
Yeah, you do it early when the game's tied, when it's close, maybe an opportunity to jump ahead. Hard to do so late if you're behind. And pitches outside to Keaton, who was 0 for 7 with a couple of walks yesterday in the twin bill. Cowboys 2 runs in 2 games, so they'd love to get one here. And that pitch is high, so Molina hit Hext. Now he walks Keaton. Feel like you're kind of tempting fate just a bit. Did we have, what's going on here? Do we have a balk? The runner Hext is running off the bag, and he's going to be tagged out, but our third base umpire, Javero January, had called time, and he's pointing all over the place, our third base umpire. I don't know what he's doing. He's telling our plate, is he pointing to Keaton to go back?
Yeah, he wants the hitter to go back to the box, but he's allowing the base runner to go to third base. This is going to be an interesting call.
So was it a balk on ball 4? He was doing an air traffic controller maneuver there a while. He was pointing over here and waving, and Hext had started jogging to third. Arkansas thought, well, he had just wandered off the bag, and they tried to get him in a rundown, but in the meantime, January was waving to Stroh to go, or Keaton rather, to go back to the box. That's a fiery DVH here in the first inning. We're going to have to see this again. Did he just roll through the stop, Troy?
He must have. Let's see if we can't.
Yeah, you got to back that.
Yeah,
up.
I got to go back a little farther. You can see Mason Molina doesn't agree. He's shaking his head.
So the count remains 3-1, but Hext is at third base. Pumps in a strike. Now, if you get a strikeout, if you're Molina, you somewhat negate that balk because you'll get the second out. So let's see if he looks set to me, doesn't he?
Wow,
what was it? Was it
a little flinch?
The chin? Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe his eyebrow went up, and that's what it was.
Well, it ends up being ball 4 after that, so I don't have to get the whiteout out. But Hext is at third, so gets our Sunday crowd fiery right out of the gates.
Number 14, Parker Stroh.
Well, so far Mason Molina is creating a lot of traffic on the bases himself.
Parker Stroh is the DH. Couple of runs batted in. 179 average, left on left from that cleanup spot. And takes one just outside to Stroh after squaring briefly to bunt. Stroh drove in the lone run for the Cowboys in Game 2 yesterday with a 6th inning single. Next pitch, similar looking, maybe this one just on the corner for a called strike.
See if Molina doesn't try to work Stroh down in the zone to entice a double play ground ball.
Flip to first, and did Keaton come off the bag? McLaughlin, in applying that tag, almost tried to lift that leg, and I think he wants a review. So DVH now is going to come out for the second time, and he's turning to Vic Corral, motioning that he wants a replay.
Arkansas is challenging a call at first base of safe. Replay on the review.
All right, let's see if McLaughlin might have kind of taken the leg of Keaton off the base. Right, I don't think so.
I think he was on there.
There's a lot of steps involved to get back those last 3 feet, but I think he's
and you can
safe.
see where McLaughlin was thinking, because the base runner, Stroh, he changed feet on
That's
the
right.
base. And I think that's where he thought, well, maybe in between the little dance on top of the pillow is where that came in.
Been an interesting first inning already for Molina and that man. So started with a quick strikeout. There was a hit batter, a stolen base, a balk, and a walk. Is that toe not there yet?
That's what.
I don't know, Troy.
That's really tough.
I mean, did he stop short with that left foot first at the base?
That's the only thing I could think of, but from that angle, you can't really see daylight. I think you're right. That might be what Ben McLaughlin was saying, is that the toe never reached the base.
All right, here's our verdict.
The call of safe at first base will be overturned. 2 and out.
That's the loudest reaction I've heard all weekend.
Still has 2 remaining.
All right.
Better than a home run or
Yeah,
anything.
that was louder than the walk-off home run yesterday. All right, the zoomed in look one more time, Troy. Did this left foot stop short?
I think it does.
So he's tagging the
Right,
back
the
foot
foot.
because the front foot doesn't get to the base. That was
Yeah.
all jacked up, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen a guy just not get back to the base.
Tell you what, you watch enough of these games, you'll see everything twice at some point, even if it's 30 years apart. No swing from Parker Stroh on the appeal. Mr. January's been busy over at third. But again, there's been traffic on the bases for the Cowboys all weekend. They love that big hit. Wave and a miss instead from Stroh, and the count 2-2. I never thought it would take a pickoff replay to kind of fire everybody up.
Well, you know what? It's Sunday afternoon. Got a late arriving crowd.
Almost clipped the elbow again of Stroh, and White had a hard time coming up with the baseball. Remember, this duo worked together in Texas Tech. They're both Red Raider transfers, and that man, Hext, was hoping for a chance to score, but obviously White and Molina pretty familiar with each other.
Well, Hex has got great speed over third base, so it doesn't have to go very far for him to be able to scamper home.
Here's the payoff. Fouled back, we'll do it again.
I don't know if the crowd has had a little caffeine on the way to the park, but they're a little fired up today, aren't they?
I would say. Maybe it's because they don't have to throw the big jackets on today like they did yesterday, or bring an umbrella.
Had to get a little extra juice before losing that hour of sleep.
That's it. Springing forward, threw everybody out of whack. Here's a payoff pitch. Wave and a miss. That was an eventful first inning with not a single hit and a runner left on. A hit batter, a walk, a balk, a stolen base, a pickoff, and a man left. And nothing has come back here in the bottom of the first, or the Razorbacks do against the Cowboys starter Alex Gravel. How about a Canadian, Troy, out there ready to work on this Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, you seen the numbers on Gravel. He's had a little command issues. You see the 16 punch-outs in 11 innings is nice, but the 12 walks is a little bit too much. But you look at last inning was just a little bit of a circus.
I think it's thrown us all out of whack, hasn't it?
I'm still trying to figure out. Let's see if he flinches a little bit.
I don't know, maybe front leg. I don't know. That was called a balk instead of ball 4. So then the Razorbacks weren't sure if Hext was in a rundown, but time had been called. The balk had been already called, so it wasn't a walk to Keaton, who ended up walking. But then once he got on first base, he was picked off. But the original call was safe. Then we went to review, and they changed it. And they called him out, and everybody got excited, and then chaos ensued.
Welcome to Sunday afternoon baseball.
Goodness. Let's take a look at the Razorback lineup. Russ Lovich back in that leadoff spot again. It's already checking the watch. We haven't seen a pitch. It says swing. And Peyton Stovall's going to bat second. Vahiva Loy third. Then it's Diggs, McLaughlin, and Sprague Lott. Souza, White, and Wilmsmeyer. And Alexi Gravel working here to Lovich. And Ross has just found a way to get more and more playing time, Troy.
Yeah, he's had a couple pinch hit opportunities. Had one yesterday, got a sac fly. And anything you can do to be productive. He's patient at the plate. Not afraid to take a strike. But yeah, you get on base and drive in a few runs, score a few runs, you're going to find your name in the lineup.
Even game 2, he didn't start. And he pinch hit late in the game in the 6th inning when it was still kind of a tight contest. At that time, it was 5-1, got a sacrifice fly, stayed in the game, of course, got a base hit and scored in that 8th. There's a chopper towards Lejeune. Easy hop. Lovich retired to begin the Arkansas first.
I bet Peyton Stovall was happy that he hit that home run. Not only for the home run, but it seems like every time he was up, he was having to bust it out of the box. He had ground balls that had an opportunity to beat out. Seems like that foot is doing okay.
First pitch swinging, lifts one in the air, left center. Westenberg will make the catch for the second out. Stovall had the 3-run homer, though, up on top of the building over the foul pole. And from where we sat yesterday, we thought it was foul, but Peyton told me before the game he was convinced it was fair, and even head coach Hill from McNeese, pretty good look on that third base dugout. He felt like it was fair, even though they reviewed it, but there was just no chance to see it on the replay.
Yeah, it was really tough.
So high, so far. This is Aloy. Bahiva had a first inning RBI single and a 3-run homer, pretty much clearing the hog pen to the left of the batter's eye in the fifth. It went 469 feet, 114 off his bat.
Yeah, he was just a home run hitting machine before the season started in early spring, and that power is definitely there, and it's real to all fields.
As they would say in Hawaii, now hana hau. Do it again.
Many times.
keep on doing it over and over. He could not hide the smile, though, Troy, after that home run. I'm sure it felt good, right? I mean, not many people get to hit 469 feet.
Yeah, he was definitely thrilled, and you don't get a lot of emotion out of Bahiva, but he got some there.
Pitch is up and out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Just underway in the Sunday afternoon.
Boy, that stance of Aloy, he just looks like he's going to explode when he swings.
It's almost like he's kind of coiling up.
Yeah. I think that's where a lot of that power comes from.
The 2-2, and he swings at one a little bit off that outside corner in K's. Good first inning for Alexi Gravel. He's had good coaches and a consistency and continuity within that program. Peyton Lejeune, the second baseman, is going to lead off. 0 for 4 yesterday, and that would have been right in our window had there not been a net, as he fouled one right back.
Yeah, really nice facilities down there in Lake Charles, and he said that he just loves the talent of those Louisiana high school baseball players. And said you don't have to go real far to pluck a lot of kids into the program.
Just good college baseball fan bases, and obviously Arkansas is pretty pleased with theirs, and they know what it's like when you go to Ole Miss, Mississippi State, or LSU. But the fun thing about that state is just the environments for college baseball all around. Doesn't matter if it's Louisiana, McNeese, Tulane, LSU. I'm going to tell you about a ULM note from yesterday that might also blow the shoes right off your feet at some point today. I tell you what, the wild and wacky or the weird of college baseball has been in full force in the last couple of weeks. Mason Molina somehow extricated himself from that odd situation in the first without anything coming across. And he misses up and out to Lejeune, who was 1 for 9 yesterday in the twin bill. There was enough baseball yesterday where Arkansas collectively could start slow and finish hot. But if you're not getting hits and you put up 8, 9, 10 at bats, it's not exactly an enjoyable afternoon. So that one's fouled back.
Well, to give Lejeune a little bit of grace, I tell you what, he's facing some pretty good arms.
Well, that's just it, right? Hagen Smith and Brady Tiger.
Man, and then it just doesn't really get much easier when the bullpen starts running guys out like McIntyre or Gackle.
2-2 from Molina. Troy, he's been up a couple of times.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Yeah, he normally doesn't live that high up in the zone. Again, he likes to throw the high strike with a fastball, but again, it's you'll surprised he hadn't thrown as many changeups to those right-handed batters.
See what he wants to throw. 3-2. High again. Now he needs the fake pickoff at first that's called safe, that goes to replay, that results in an out to get him off the hook.
Now batting, number 0, the right fielder, Braden Duhon.
Tell you what, he also had a busy first inning to DVH. Got a good old-fashioned argument, got a replay overturned. 3-time SEC Coach of the Year.
Just a great season a year ago. I think a lot of the fans, forget about Arkansas winning the SEC championship, regular season championship, and that is no easy task.
It is not. You got to be good for 10 weeks, and it's really tough in this league to do that. Throw to first, and Lejeune, who's stolen one base back in diving. Braden Duhon, the batter. Duhon was aboard 3 times in game 2, a couple of singles. 3 hits in all over the course of the 2 games. Drove in one of the 2 runs, scored the other for McNeese. Pretty good bunt by Duhon, forcing Molina to field his position. He'll flip to McLaughlin. Hogs will take the out. Cowboys will get the base.
Well, Mason Molina almost crossed his feet up a little bit right there, and for a split second it almost looked like he was going to land on his back, and got those feet underneath him and made that play. But watch Molina. He a little bit before that he got a little crossed up, but kept his composure and made that easy throw to first base. A little surprised by one of your guys who has been swinging the bat the best, and Duhon sack bunting right there, because I don't think that was bunting for a hit.
It's one of those situations where you can bunt for a hit but get credited for a sacrifice if you don't make it.
Because usually with the left-handed pitcher on the mound, you want to bunt that ball hard past the pitcher to bunt it toward where the second baseman is playing. That one just really died pretty softly in front of the pitcher's mound.
I think you know me long enough or well enough that anytime anybody bunts, I'm always a little bit curious.
Well, you have to think that McNeese is going to need to score more than one. Maybe it's just a way to try to get ahead.
I think so, right? Just get something going in a positive manner.
Right. It's like maybe we can get the lead if we can bunt him to second base and then maybe get a base hit. Lejeune's got good speed out at second. You know he's going to score on a base hit.
A ball and 2 strikes to Dowd, who had 3 hits yesterday in the Twin Bill. That was neck high. That doesn't even register on our TrackMan. There's half a dot, but it almost leaves our screen.
I think you need to be about 7 foot tall for that to be a strike.
Dow helped out Molina by swinging one way off the plate and pops up softly to McLaughlin. Boy, that's one of those swings 2 years from now. You'll think back if you're Easton Dow and say, remember when I offered that pitch 2 feet outside and I hit that soft pop-up? And you'll still remember it with a pained feeling.
That was almost like halfway in the left-hand batter's box.
I mean, this is almost like you're swinging at a hit and run, right?
Right.
I mean, they're pitching out and you're trying to throw the bat out there. Ben David, the catcher, takes strike 1. Like Charles native, let's see this swing. Oh, goodness.
Wow. Yeah, that's one of those ones you almost feel like you made your mind up to swing before the ball came out of Molina's hand.
You wonder how you made contact. But David, a local product, just a couple of ABs this season. He has a chance to put the Cowboys in front. And Molina gets one on the outside corner for a called strike. Or maybe just a little bit off.
It's going to be a long day for the Cowboys if Molina keeps getting that pitch. That is change up a little off the dish.
Wave and a miss. Cowboys strand another runner in scoring position. It's been
A conference?
The
Arkansas
SWC.
played in what?
Well, Kendall Diggs called game yesterday, and he just about wore one on the 5 to begin his Sunday ABs. Hit one I don't know, 80% of the way up on that batter's eye in center field at 450 for a run rule 11-1 win.
I think I'm going to have to disagree with Trackman on that one. I think 450 cheated him a little bit.
I seem to remember a Missouri player, I think it was the last name Mather, who hit one 3/4 of the way up off that batter's eye 6-7 years ago, but I don't remember many anywhere near that spot. I suppose there have been a few that have gone over, but not in my time frame.
No, there was a second baseman for LSU named Barbier back when they called it Gorilla Ball days, and the bats were juiced. He hit one over. When you have a second baseman hitting one over the batter's eye, you know the bats are a little hot.
Tell you what, though, Kendall had an awkward dive at second base. We thought he was really hurt after a stolen base in the first inning, and I said to him today, for 15 seconds, I was really concerned, and his eyes got wide. He said, so was I.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And he was covered in head to toe in Baumwalker filth, and we made the comment it would take a while to get that uniform clean. But Mark in the clubhouse wants you to know that little pre-spotter, one time through the wash, it was all good.
Oh, there you go.
No problem. Here's a payoff off the fists, and that one's foul.
Yeah,
Let's go back and look at this.
This was not the prettiest slide in the world. He really stuck, and boy, I think he thought that shoulder popped out of socket.
Did you?
I really did. I thought that was not good.
Remember Matt Goodhart going back into first base?
Oh yeah, jammed that shoulder.
And how that kind of jacked up his ability to swing the bat for a while. Diggs will pop one up, foul, and playable for David. He's got it. Retires Diggs. 4 up, 4 down from Alexi Gravel, the starter for the Cowboys.
Gravel's got that really short arm motion, and he's sneaky fast. That last pitch was 91, but you know those guys with that long motion, it seems like it's easier to time them, but those short arm pitchers, that ball just gets on you in a hurry.
Ben McLaughlin will bat. Went 0 for 4 in the nightcap. Remember, McLaughlin had a couple of doubles in game 1, Troy, so he had reached base in every game this year, all 13, and then when the Hawks kind of break out for that 11-1 win, he didn't get to participate. Went 0 for 4.
You don't really usually see a first baseman that takes as many pitches as McLaughlin does. He really is kind of a master of that strike zone.
Lefty in the 2-0 pitch over the inside corner.
I don't think he was sitting on that. Nice pitch by Gravel. That pulled a string on that one.
2-0, you're going to let that go by every time it comes in there. Arkansas began the doubleheader yesterday with a team batting average of 285, which was 104th in the country. They've jumped it up from 285 to 294. This won't help the cause. Soft ground ball to Lejeune, and Gravel's retired all 5 Hogs he's faced in the game.
Yeah, he jammed McLaughlin right there on a off-speed pitch, 81 miles an hour, and usually don't see that happen very often. And this is Arkansas's hottest hitter so far this season, Jared Sprague-Lott.
There's some of the rankings, Troy, and I felt like yesterday might be a game that'll propel this team forward just a bit, even though conference play is looming, because those numbers don't quite fit in with your SEC ranks. I would say yesterday, though, facing these Cowboy pitchers, they had a couple of starters that just spotted. They threw multiple pitches for strikes. They hit their spots.
Well, the Cowboy pitchers, they just own the bottom part of the zone. That's the thing that was so impressive to me. Like you said, we saw enough change-ups for a season in 2 ball games. But hey, if they're effective, keep throwing it.
Saw plenty. Sprague-Lott hitting .410 on a 2-0 pitch. Could not check a swing. Tell you what, Gravel's thrown a couple of 2-0 pitches for strikes that have really kind of locked up these hitters.
Yeah, that's a fastball.
In the air to center. Westenberg comes gliding in. He's got it. Inning over. So Gravel has thrown 2 perfect innings.
I was 16 and he was 17, but I think he's really worked hard and he deserves everything coming for him.
Yeah, Mason has known Paul Skeens for a long time. He was one of the stories in college baseball last year. As Trahan pops one up, And it will be caught by a stumbling Hudson White, but able to make the play. 1 pitch, 1 out. And I think the story goes, Troy, that Skeens even caught Molina at a few showcase events because remember, Skeens was a two-way player at Air Force before he went to LSU.
That's just really crazy. Can you imagine him throwing down to second base?
No, not really.
That's a cannon behind the dish.
Mason's from Rancho Santa Margarita. Skeens hails from Lake Forest, California, I believe, and attended El Toro High School. And that school produced guys like Matt Chapman, Nolan Arenado. And Skeens, I believe, was told by the Pirates he will not start the year in the big leagues. However, I do not think
it's going to take long.
He's going to finish the year in the minors.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to send him to rookie ball. I think that's
No,
probably a safe bet.
I think it's AA, AAA, and then on to Steel City. Westenberg flies one out to right field on a windless day. There's no clouds in the sky. That's the only obstacle, and Wilmsmeyer makes the catch with the sunglasses on. 2 quick outs here in the McNeese third inning.
Even though Molina gets a lot of punch outs, he's definitely not afraid to pitch to contact either. Again, that MO of this Razorback pitching staff is try to get to 2 strikes as quickly as possible. Yeah, that's a lot of talent coming out of that high school, isn't it?
It's almost not fair. I mean, what are they putting in the water there in Lake Forest, California, or El Toro High School? Hext was hit by a pitch in the first. Down in the count here, 0-2. Of course, Molina, though, when he left Texas Tech, I think he said he had about 37 Division I schools trying to contact him. He took visits to Georgia and Texas A&M. Fly ball to shallow center. Wilmsmeyer froze for a while, but he's able to glide in, make the catch, and that is the first time today the Cowboys have gone down in order. We go to the bottom of buddy of Will Wade, and I was on a flight a couple of months ago, and Will Wade was about 2 rows behind me. So I did the old selfie where I could snap it with him behind me, and I sent it to him, and I said, here's your guy, he's on the flight. And Cowboys have done nothing but win.
Boy, that's a great season for the Cowboys there in Lake Charles.
Great arena, too. Really perfect for that level of basketball. Great intensity. Nolan Souza, meanwhile, is leading off the bottom of the third inning. Troy, Arkansas could use a hit. They could use a base runner. They haven't had one yet.
Yeah, really good job by Alexi Gravel. He just locked up Souza right there.
Nolan was on base with 3 singles in the second game of the doubleheader, and it did not take long before Gravel just rung him up.
That's just, again, that's a sneaky fastball. That really short arm swing by Gravel, that ball gets on top of those hitters, I think, just quicker than they think.
Hudson White, the batter. Arkansas could use a hit. I think Hudson could use a couple of base hits. He had a run-scoring double and a single yesterday in the first game. He had been 2 for 21 since that JMU series. And when you have 4 catchers, Troy, and you maybe aren't hitting at that level that you would like, there are other options for DVH to run out there.
Yeah, I think so. And then the hard part is you've got Peyton Stovall coming back and taking one of those DH spots. So that takes away that spot in the lineup.
3-0 the count to Hudson White. When Hudson chose Texas Tech, it came down to Arkansas and Tech. So when it didn't work out in Lubbock, it was an easy decision to come here. Now, he has been coming here for years because he had a sister that graduated from Arkansas, so no stranger to Northwest Arkansas. He was on a travel ball team with one Hagen Smith when they were 15, 16, 17 years old. And that's ball 4. Thought we might see a called strike, but that is a walk. That is the first Razorback base runner.
Talking about a guy that really would love to break out and start swinging the bat a little bit better is Ty Wilmsmeyer. Again, we've talked about that plus elite speed that he has, and it's hard to show it off when you're not on the bases.
Wilmsmeyer hitting .226. Take strike 1. Ty said he felt like his swing was getting a little bit too big in the fall, and certainly had a really good start after a couple of games in the cold against JMU. And again, hasn't been in the lineup every single day, so trying to make the most of the opportunities when he is. Hard hit, base hit. White will turn second and hold there on the base hit from Wilmsmeyer. And the Hogs in business with one out in the third inning.
That was probably one of the first pitches that Gravel got up in the zone. Wilmsmeyer jumped on it, and I think that's what you have to do against kind of a crafty lefty like Gravel is you're probably going to get one good pitch to hit every at-bat. And talking to Nate Thompson today, he said that's our approach. He said you've got to be aggressive at the plate, but you also have to keep it inside the strike zone.
Lovich shoots one to left field. Hexed over and under to make the catch. Lovich waited on that breaking pitch and tried to drive one to left, but Hext was playing deep to begin with. Easy play, 2 gone.
Arkansas's got great speed at first in Wilmsmeyer and kind of above average speed at second base with Hudson White. Runs very well for a catcher. So you think a base hit to the outfield is going to score a run in this situation.
Stovall takes strike one again. Peyton got a single and a 3-run bomb in the 8th inning in the course of game 2 yesterday, and that home run way up there above the foul pole on top of the building disappeared. So he got a lot of firsts out of the way. His first game, his first at bat, got a hit in that first AB, got his first home run, got his RBIs, couple of wins, got another base hit and another run batted in. Here comes White around third. He'll score in the Stovall single. Welcome back again, Peyton. He's made it 1-0 Arkansas.
Brett, that's a pitch that's not even a strike. That is at the bottom corner of the strike zone, about a baseball off. And just look at him stay with that pitch. He tracked it the whole way, went down and just guided that one into center field. That's a nice feeling for Peyton Stovall. And the free base runner, the walk to Hudson White, comes around and scores.
Here's Aloy. Tremendous rip and a miss at a breaking ball in the dirt.
Aloy must have a really good chiropractor. He keeps somebody busy.
Can you imagine being 38, 39 years old and swinging like that?
You do it once, then you'd be in traction.
There's times I might get up on the golf tee with a driver and kind of feel that pain as well when you reach back for a little extra and it's not there. I would say there was no doubt on this swing.
That is just light tower power right there by Aloy.
It came in the 5th inning, 469 feet. Cleared the hog pen in left center. I think there's a pond or some marsh below that area to the left of our center field camera, and it was up, out, and long gone, maybe never to be found again. Off the hands, Aloy will foul one back and out of play. A little competition for the ball. Did somebody come up with it? Someone's got like 14 hot dogs and a baseball.
Did you see the lays for Vahiva over there in the stands?
No.
Yeah, got to go back to that same spot. Some very colorful ones as well.
You need to have one around your neck. Hard hit up the middle, and Dow can't get it. Aloy's got another base hit, another run batted in. It's a 2-0 Razorback lead. Did that go through the legs of Gravel, or did he just skip out of the way? That ball was hit hard, and Aloy drives it another.
That is one of those seeing eye singles. I think it went through about 5 chances to be made. Hit off his foot. We got to see that again.
Oh, it did. Instead of misdirecting it, it continued in his center. He was trying to skip out of the way, and then the ball still hit his foot. Let's see this again.
Yeah, off the heel.
The heel.
and it put a little bit extra funky spin on it. It's a great effort by Dow. He just got the tip of his glove on that baseball. Back-to-back RBI singles for Arkansas.
Remember, Gravel retired the first 7 that he faced, and then it went walk, single, fly out, single, single. So Kendall Diggs yesterday with that home run, that Titanic shot. It was his second of the year. Charlie Condon of the Georgia Bulldogs has 12.
Whew. I think he's leading every stat in the SEC.
He has 12. Arkansas is a team with 15.
At some point, you got to stop pitching to the guy. Why are you going to do that to yourself? I don't know if I'd throw him many strikes or just put up a big 4 and just walk him. This is if you're Kendall Diggs right here. You almost kind of hope you get a strike on 3-0 so you can swing 3-1.
Almost hit him in the back of the helmet. And the bases are low to get the beer hats out.
Even though the youngsters are getting a beer hat. Check this out, Brett.
There's nothing better than a baby beer hat.
There you go.
It took a while to crochet that thing.
Hitter and Ben McLaughlin stepping up to the plate right now.
Ben bounced out to second just an inning ago, hitting with the bases loaded. Tapped that one foul at the plate, and he was pleading with that ball to stay foul and not just dribble in front of the chalk and be out.
It's one of those excuse me swings. Gravel would love to get out of this inning. He does have 2 outs behind him.
Roped past the second baseman Lejeune. This will play 2 more. Stovall followed by Aloy, and the Hogs have plated 4 in the inning.
Just Mr. Consistency, Ben McLaughlin.
Benny Barrels.
He finds him, doesn't he? Really nice swing right there. How about 103 off the bat of Ben McLaughlin, and that's why that ball just got past Lejeune in a hurry. Stovall crosses easily, as well as Vahiva Aloy.
Seven straight Razorbacks have been retired with 1 out in this 3rd inning, and all of a sudden Arkansas has put 4 on the board, and the 3rd hasn't ended yet.
There is still nobody in the bullpen for the Cowboys.
Even though yesterday was a run rule, Arkansas won it in the bottom of the 8th, so it really didn't save an inning or so from a pitching standpoint for the Cowboys. Over at the Neese for a called strike. Activity stirring, walkie-talkie in tow.
Sprague Lott came into this ballgame hitting 400. He's hitting 500 with runners in scoring position this season. And how about 353 with 2 outs? You always you think about, you hear a lot of stats, but those are the stats that really jump out at you. What do you do with runners in scoring position or with 2 outs? Are you driving in runs and helping your team?
Quite honestly, as he takes ball 4, that'll get those beer hats out again, and the Hogs have batted around. If you believe in the metrics and the analytic numbers as far as runs created, Kendall Diggs and Jared Sprague-Lott, the top 2 guys on the team at 13 plus. Contributing to what they've been able to provide this offense. Hogs aren't done yet in the 3rd with 4 runs that have come across as the beer hats pop back out. Souza struck out to begin this inning. Boy, you always hate to make 2 outs in an inning when your teammates are doing anything but.
I think he took the best pitch of this at-bat, possibly.
Good stop by David.
Boy, he really slid out nicely to smother that baseball. This is his first opportunity to play this weekend, and looked like a hockey goalie on that one.
A couple of different catchers yesterday. I thought they did nice jobs blocking balls. Souza waves and misses.
The bottom really fell out of that one for Gravel. You have to think that Gravel's going to try to go down and away from Souza right here. Now, he does a really nice job of hitting that ball to the opposite field.
That almost went through Souza. I think at some point in this sequence he was thinking he was going to get plunked. He was just going to wear it. And the ball somehow went right by him.
He was going to take that one off the oven mitt in the back pocket. That's where you want to get hit.
Get an RBI and hit the oven mitt. Diggs, McLaughlin, and Sprague-Lott the batters. That's a wave and a miss. Souza struck out twice in the inning. That's kind of a head scratcher for Nolan, but Troy Arkansas puts 4 on the board.
Yeah, I got a big crooked number up, and Benny Barrels.
Razorbacks 3, 4, and 5 do up this frame. Keaton, Stroh, and Lejeune against Mason Molina. First pitch, hard hit, picked by Sprague-Lott at third. One pitch, one out. Nifty little scoop at the hot corner.
I'm just waiting for Sprague-Lott to start smiling.
Was there a little jump there, too,
I
on the
think
scoop?
so.
That was the best part. It wasn't the scoop, it was the little skip.
This is one of those ones that's absolutely scorched. 101 off the bat, and that's like, whoa. Look
That was almost a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah, I know. Playing a little hopscotch over there at third base.
And this is Parker Stroh.
If you're Chase Keaton, you can't hit the ball any harder. That's what's the frustrating spot.
Well, Arkansas going for the sweep. They've already won their 30th weekend series against non-conference opponents in a row. A mark of consistency that's pretty hard to beat. And now my question is, Troy, Arkansas came in, they were ranked second, they were ranked third. Wake Forest lost to Duke on Friday night. That's a good Duke team.
Yeah.
They have 2 losses. Arkansas has 2 losses. Will there be a poll where maybe they're number 1, or will they still be behind Wake?
I think they're still going to be behind Wake. I think Duke is still ranked pretty high. They're in the top 20.
Might be a top 10 team when all is said and done.
Yeah, that's right.
Tell you what, though, there were some crazy games around college baseball this past weekend. Hit high in the air, deep right field. Parker Stroh might have himself a home run, and he does. A solo shot off the netting in front of the Razorback bullpen. Stroh hits his first of the year, and it's a 4-1 game.
Yeah, really nice swing by Parker Stroh, and it just seemed like that took that baseball a while to get out. It had some hang time and got just enough of it. I think Stroh is happy that it's not blowing straight in from right field, because a stiff wind would have probably knocked that one down. Good swing on a breaking ball. That's some really great extension right there, and getting just over that yellow line.
Here's Peyton Lejeune. He walked in the second. How about ULM, Troy, hitting for the home run cycle in an inning? That means that in a single frame they had a solo homer, 2-run homer, 3-run homer, grand slam against Alabama A&M in the 5th inning yesterday. The Warhawks. You don't see that every day.
No, or ever.
Mentioned Charlie Condon, 12 home runs for Georgia. Drew Burris, I think he's had a 4-homer game already for Georgia Tech, hit his 10th homer. He's a true freshman, hit a grand slam yesterday. How about the exit velocity that may have set a record this year from Oregon State's Jacob Krieg, who hit 118 miles an hour off his bat? You're happy everybody is still alive.
Yeah, that's crazy.
When that ball descends to earth, wherever that may be. Rip and a miss by Lejeune. Miami was down 12-3 in the bottom of the 7th at home to a good Virginia team. Came back to win the game 16-12. Overcame a 9-run deficit in the bottom of the 7th. It's hit in the air. A winless, cloudless day. Sprague Lot underneath it, 2 outs. How about UC Irvine getting 2 grand slams at an inning? Now, they played 2 games. I guess it was one of these tournament type events where you play a couple of teams in a game. They scored 32 runs in the first game with those 2 grand slams at an inning. Then they come out against Fresno State in the nightcap, and you want to take a crack at how many runs they scored after getting 32?
0.
1. You were close. So 33 for 2 games sounds pretty good until you realize 32 came in 1 game and 1 came in another. Duhan had a sacrifice bunt his only time in, takes strike 1. But how about New Mexico taking down UNLV, a thin air battle? The Lobos over the Rebels, Troy, 31-15 yesterday. And despite scoring 31 runs, New Mexico left 16 guys on base. They could have scored 70.
Oh, man. That is absolutely crazy. I think some big stats and things like that. How about Arkansas's pitching staff leading the SEC to actually tied with LSU with 201 punch-outs coming into this ball game and 60 strikeout looking.
Those numbers are going to keep climbing. We're going to have to start paying the K counter guys down the right field line because it's above and beyond the call of duty.
They may have some arm issues after hanging so many Ks up on the
Might
board.
need a surgery or something.
At least some PT.
Duhan fouls one back, another play. Completing my tour around college baseball, I saw Porter Brown of Texas hit a home run to the top of the upper tank in right field at Minute Maid, and I said, boy, we didn't get a reading, we didn't have TrackMan. My partner says, I felt like that went 450. You go, 450? How about 480? He hit one yesterday in Lubbock, 480 feet.
Whew.
So maybe I wasn't that far off. And that's a little bit outside.
What a great take by Duhan right there. Definitely off the plate. Molina wanted it, but that's just a good take on a good pitch.
2-2 to Duhan. He offers it one up and out of the zone. That's kind of coming out the other side of an injury.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for a lot of these kids is they just want to help the team. You know, you talk about injuries. Boy, the Cowboys have been struck by the injury bug and then some.
They've had some issues. Hebert hoping to get him back soon with a handmade issue. They've had a kind of a shortstop shortage, moving some guys around. And it's not fun because at the beginning of the year it's one thing. And then you get to this point, Troy, where you realize conference play is starting. You kind of like to have your lineup and your positions solidified, but it's not always the case.
Yeah, you want some continuity to that lineup, and that's what the Cowboys are really struggling with right now. They're just kind of piecemealing things together.
2-2 to Hudson White, who walked for the first Razorback base runner with 1 out in the third, and they scored 4 runs against Gravel.
Boy, this Cowboy outfield is playing very deep for Hudson White.
.78-mile-an-hour breaking pitch, fouled back. Almost feels like, the wind's blowing out, but there's very little, if any, breeze today.
Yeah, what little it is going to help that ball carry just a bit.
If you're going to look up in the sky as an outfielder or on a pop-up as an infielder, you're not going to get much help.
No, it's those high skies with no clouds makes those fly balls and pop-ups that much more difficult.
3-2 to White. A little chopper poked foul.
Tell you what, Alexi Gravel, he's scrappy. I think that this whole Cowboy pitching staff is got a really good makeup. They are not going to give in. The starters have really battled, and see some really good relievers as well too.
That's ball 4, so White will walk for the second time in the game.
Just a good quality at bat by Hudson White, fouling off good pitches and letting the borderline ones go. That is gonna do it for Gravel. That is head coach Justin Hill, and he is coming out with some pace with that walk.
69 today and had 2 perfect innings, but a 4-run third, responsible for White at first. Here's Wilmsmeyer with the first hit for Arkansas against the Cowboys in Gravel with a single into left an inning ago. Breaking ball carried out of the zone.
Ty Wilmsmeyer, always a threat to bunt, and that's brings in Trahan, the third baseman, even with the bag at third. Look like a little cutter up and in.
That's a movement. Wilmsmeyer behind in the count, 1-2. Arkansas in the midst of this 12-game homestand, trying to rack up some W's before conference play next Friday against Mizzou. Trying to go to 13-2 if they get a win today. You know, it's I mentioned Wake Forest, Troy, losing to Duke on Friday, and that's not a big deal because Duke against a very good team, although Wake Forest seems to be one of those top 3 or 4 teams in the country with Arkansas, with LSU. TCU was another one of those teams that looked almost unbeatable. They were 13-0 coming into this weekend. Kansas beat them Friday. Kansas beat them Saturday, 8-4. Kansas is leading by 4 today.
Well, the Jayhawks, I tell you what, Arkansas's plucked a couple really good players from Kansas. So they that baseball program is really kind of getting turned around there in Lawrence.
Wilmsmeyer going to pop one up towards Lejeune, and he will make the catch for the first out. I was going to say that Arkansas keeps taking some of their good ones. And they're about to take down the Horned Frogs if they can hold on a Sunday to sweep a series against a really good TCU ball club.
Yeah, TCU is stacked again.
Arkansas has taken a few out of Mizzou as well, including Lovich and Wilmsmeyer. Ross is 0 for 2. He's lined out to left. He's bounced out to second. Watched that pitch the entire way. It was down for ball 1.
Yeah, you think about some guys Arkansas's got. Taven Josenberger a year ago. Stone Hewlett, reliever for Arkansas from the Jayhawks.
Jack Wagner with a stop in between. Pitch is a called strike to Lovich.
Hudson White not much of a threat to steal. Though he is 2 for 2. No, excuse me. He has not attempted a steal this year.
Molina's given up 1 hit and 1 run through 4 innings. Arkansas trying to add to this 4-1 advantage. Got their leadoff runner aboard White, but he's there with 1 out. Long pause before a pitch to Lovich. Cut on a miss. Good breaking ball for a strikeout. 2 gone.
That's that slider. It's been so effective for Morrow. See that one just dive down and in. Lovich goes right over the top of it.
Morrow will face Stovall. Singled in a run in the 3rd. Part of that big frame just an inning ago. Pitch came way in and missed. Draft year for Stovall, so there's always some anxiety. I felt like he was at a really good spot talking with him back in January. Same thing for Hagen Smith. You know, there wasn't any apprehension or pressure. Hard hit, but scooped by Lejeune. Little flip to first to retire Stovall. Hawks got a leadoff walk, did not score. 4 complete, 4-1. Jackson Wiggins there as well. So there's a lot of guys getting ready to start their season soon. I also saw that Ryan Stanek signed today with the Seattle Mariners.
Oh, wow. Really?
Good for him. Easton Dowell popped to first his only time in. He's trying to make the most of this rough situation from an injury standpoint from the shortstops. And had 3 hits yesterday. Didn't like that swing, however.
Yeah, sometimes as a freshman, you just got thrown into a situation, and Dowell's handled it pretty well.
Rance's pass, Texas native. Very upright stance with that bat pointed down. He will wave and miss. 2-2.
Talked about that leg kick of Dow. And I said, remind me of he's trying to start a motorcycle with that left leg. It is a high leg kick. It goes straight up and straight down.
Socks one down the line in left. That's in there for a base hit, maybe two. Lovich cuts it off on the track. Dow heads to second base, in with a dive and a double. And this is a team that loads up on the two bases. Came into this weekend the top 25-ish teams in the country as far as doubles. And that was one where Dow had to race out of the box to get there.
That's a really good job by Easton Dow to stay on top of that pitch. That's a pitch at the very top of the zone and kept those hands up above that baseball.
Ben David went down on strikes, back in the second.
Yeah, we talk about productive outs. I know they're down by 3 runs, but David, he at least wants to try to move that runner up. Obviously, they want a big inning and a crooked number.
He wasn't trying to move him up there with a ground ball.
He was trying to take that one on into the seats. Doesn't have the frame of a Punch and Judy hitter, does he?
Not really. Molina's next one is on the corner for a strike. Coach Justin Hill, I think like many coaches, just really wants to find out as much about his team in these few weeks while getting healthy by conference play. It was something that Jay Johnson told me a week ago about LSU. You know, whether you're a defending national champion, whether you're in the Southland Conference, I think the same thought process applies. How can I mix and match and throw some different guys out there, some opportunities to play while still winning games, and then find out as much as I need to know about my team through a month to give me a fighting chance going right into conference play?
Yeah, I think that's why these non-conference weekends, and especially those, thought that one was right at us. Thought you almost were going to make a play right there, Brett.
I was ready.
You know how important those Tuesday ball games are, because it seems like that's the opportunity you get.
Agreed.
Another starter to get a chance to run out there on the mound on those Tuesday games.
That's on the ground and in the center for a base hit, but Dow was going back to second, so he's not going to score. He'll go to third and hold there. Not a huge deal because there's nobody out. If there were maybe one out in the inning, that might hurt a little more because he would have easily scored had he just broken with that ground ball.
Yeah, I think he thought that maybe Vahiva Aloy was playing a little bit more up the middle.
All right, Troy, but on that situation, if that ball is to your left, why not go, right?
And I think that's what it was to his right.
Yeah,
so
I think you're right. Good point.
He froze and goes, okay.
He saw his teammate get hit by a ground ball yesterday.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, you wonder if that would have been a topic of discussion after that ball game, is you just don't get hit by the batted ball.
It cost the Cowboys a couple of runs, and it came in the 4th inning yesterday when Brady Tigert was trying to get through the frame with a 1-0 lead.
It's a big offensive timeout right here. I don't know really what the big strategy was. You have no outs. It's not like you're going to try to sacrifice or squeeze in a run right here. You need 3.
It feels like teams use those for different circumstances. I've seen a couple of teams use them almost kind of just to take the pitcher out of his rhythm, but nonetheless, feels like the Cowboys have a little offensive rhythm here in the 5th. Gage Trahan, who popped up in foul territory to the catcher White, is only at bat.
Looks like Arkansas is going to concede the run and try to turn 2. Maybe if a hard ground ball to Ben McLaughlin, he might come home, but I bet he's going to probably try to go for 2 as well.
Hawks have a 3-run lead, but tying run at the plate. Top of the lineup, due up next. Molina's pitch fouled right back. Even on some of the foul balls this inning, And Cowboys have been right on him.
Yeah, they've had some really good quality swings. And again, this offense is, you just haven't been able to find that big hit so far this weekend, but their at-bats have really kept those balls in the zone. You haven't seen guys that swing at a lot of bad pitches.
There is kind of a compounding frustration when you don't get the big hit, because every guy who comes up then wants to be the guy to help do it. And,
right.
And then you reach back for a little extra, maybe outside your comfort zone.
Start pressing just a little bit.
I think it's natural. 75th pitch. We'll have to wait. Throw to first instead.
Stone Hewlett and Gage Wood in the bullpen for Arkansas.
And neither pitched yesterday in the doubleheader. High again. Maybe a safety squeeze of sorts for Trehan, but Molina wasn't anywhere near the zone, so he's in danger of maybe walking Trehan to load up the bases with nobody out and the top of the lineup due up.
Molina's missed up quite a few times in this game.
High again.
Well, this kind of sums it up. He's thrown 77 pitches, 44 strikes, 33 balls. That's very uncharacteristic for Mason Molina.
Dave Van Horn out of the dugout. He's already made the call to the bullpen, so he's going to bring on a new pitcher. Cowboys have a big up. It was a 5-1 game with a tying run on deck. Gackle had a save in game 1, 2 2/3 scoreless innings. This is not a save situation here, but it might be the most important part of this game for an Arkansas pitcher.
Yeah, I think so. And really the first couple pitches for Gage Wood are critical. If I'm Westenberg, I'm very aggressive on this first pitch.
Westenberg is 0 for 2. He does have 5 homers, 15 knocked in. Third-year player, maybe just 1 hit or so coming into this year, and all of a sudden he has started to hit at the beginning of the campaign. He's not given up his role, and he has a chance to do some damage. Little dribbler to the right side. Wood has to race over and cover, and he just did win the race against Westenberg, who will get an RBI. As Dow scores, it's a 4-2 game.
Yeah, just a little tapper to the right side. And that's a tough job by Ben McLaughlin, because you have to almost flip that ball behind you because you're fielding it in front of first base. Arkansas again conceding the run right here, except for Sprague-Lott at third base.
Cooper Hext hit by a pitch and a fly out. 57 starts a year ago, had 25 extra base hits last season. So even just a base hit would tie up the game. An extra base hit would also put him into scoring position. Hopes for the Cowboys to have a big inning. Cowboys have obviously not had a multi-run inning yet in this series, because just 2 runs yesterday. They are going to get one here. That's fair. Down the line and right. 2 will score. Hex will go to second base, and he's going to keep right on running. On his way to third, we've got a 4-4 game, and Hex is 90 feet away after that triple that pumps up the Cowboy dugout.
Where McNeese was looking for a big swing this weekend, and they got it right there by Cooper Hext. A worm burner right down that first base line, and Hex, he almost slowed down just a little bit. He didn't know if that ball was going to be fair or foul. That was Vic Carell, the first base umpire, said that one's fair.
Nice job getting out of the way of that ball, too. Chase Keaton now up, and Arkansas will play 3 of their infielders at regular depth, so they'll concede the go-ahead run in the 5th to get the second out of the inning and not to allow this to balloon any further. Keaton will foul that one back and out of play. Got a kick out of Coach Hill talking about Keaton, though, the other day, Troy. He said he's going to take some swings that are really pretty ugly, almost like he's setting up the pitcher, but he can then bounce back in the course of an AB. And I think that's always fun to watch, when maybe a guy takes a swing and you're like, uh-oh, and then he finds a way over the course of the AB to do some damage. Got tied up there on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, you're right. That's always interesting. Some of those guys get way out on that front foot and are really diving, and then next time you know, next swing they hit one 400 feet.
Wood could use a strikeout. You were saying about getting out of that front foot. But he stayed alive, did Chase Keaton.
So if you're Gage Wood, you've thrown the breaking ball down and away. I go back up and in with a fastball right here.
I throw something hard. Fouled back again.
I think you come back to it. That caught a little too much plate. You're 1-2. You can get right at that top of the strike zone, maybe in just a little bit more.
Another 1-2 pitch. Fouled back.
That's right where he wanted it. That was just a great job by Chase Keaton.
Murray State product. Coach Hobbs wearing out the walkie-talkie. Whose job is that to make sure those things have batteries and they don't go dead?
Tell you what, whoever it is, you better be on that game.
It's down and out. Hext had the big 2-run triple. He's at third base. Poke towards right. This is down. The Cowboys will take the lead on the single from Keaton. It's a 5-4 McNeese advantage. They played it for this inning, neutralizing the 4-run third that Arkansas put forth.
About 4 base hits in this inning. A pair of singles, a double, and a triple by the Cowboys. And you talked about Keaton. You just got to find a way. Just throw that bat head out there and
he covered a lot of plate.
Just flip that one out into right field.
Here's Parker Straw. Now, he homered last inning. It was a 4-0 Arkansas lead at that point. He got the solo homer off the screen in front of the Razorback bullpen, and the Cowboys have scored 5 unanswered now in this game. Off and rolling is Keaton in that throw. Not close. So now the Cowboys can run a little bit now that they're ahead. Their second stolen base of the game.
Yeah, it was a really good jump right there by Keaton. Yeah, still just 1 out. That took him out of the double play. Gage Wood trying to find out number 2 somewhere.
Late on that swing from Stroh. Wood could use it out. Troy, at this rate, the way this game is slowed down, you're going to miss the start of the gymnastics meet at 4 o'clock.
I'm telling you, yeah, it's
may have to excuse you early so you can get over there.
Got a birthday party to attend about that time, so hopefully we wrap up by 4 o'clock.
You're skipping gymnastics?
Yes. Well, we might flip it on TV.
All right. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stroh again, the cleanup hitter today for McNeese. On the ground towards Souza. Easy play. 2 outs. Keaton moves up to third base. Arkansas just a little bit closer to getting out of this inning. This 4-run Cowboy 5th.
Well, here's something else you want to think about. You got back-to-back lefties. You have Stone Hewlett in the bullpen. He's hot, but if you're Arkansas, you really want Gage Wood to chew up some batters and maybe chew up an inning or 2. With the doubleheader yesterday, there's several guys you probably are not going to bring back today. You've got Ben Bybee, who's still on the DL.
Mono has derailed his season as Lejeune takes strike 1. Handful of guys may be close to getting back, but that doesn't do you much good today. Over but down. Four hits and 4 runs for the Cowboys. I'm liking their baby blue unis on this Sunday. That one is poked down the line in left, but way foul. That picnic area. Got a little Milwaukee Brewer look to him.
Yeah, I like him. Got the hint of yellow in there.
Some Baumwalker dirt smeared on the front. Check swinging the ball in the dirt. Quick appeal, no swing. You count 2-2. I thought in real time that Lejeune held back and didn't offer. Sometimes when there's a chance to end the inning, I think these fans get a little bit fired up because just want to find a way, somehow to end this thing. Now that group of fans somewhat subdued, but the others
a little more vocal.
And they'll get the wave of a miss here. Lejeune will be tagged out. The inning ends, but good frame for the Cowboys. They get 4.
Arkansas's 4 runs in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, that 4-0 lead is a thing of history. Aloy, Diggs, and McLaughlin against Morrow, who came on in relief last inning. Already has pitched now in 8 games. This is the 16th for Neese. 2 1/3 innings of relief work against Prairie View about a week ago, exactly a week ago. Cowboys came back to win that game 5-4. Take the series, sweep the series.
Boy, this McNeese pitching staff really trying to work Vahiva Aloy away. Well, I saw that power, and you better keep it away.
Down and out, 3-1. Tell you what, Morrow's got that same glove as his uniform. He's got the baby blue glove. Thing matches.
Yeah, that looks nice.
Logo right next to the logo on the sleeve.
That's big league right there.
Good pitch.
That is the very bottom of the zone.
That's one where you take it even when you're up 3-1 because you're hoping for something over the plate that you can drive as big hitter, but
you can see Morrow, he is shaking off the dugout going, I don't want that pitch. I don't want that one. He knew what he wants to throw right here, and that's got to throw your pitch with conviction.
Big chopper that will go foul. Trehan went across the chalk to get it. He's shaking off everything right now. Even that look wasn't a shake, but it was like, maybe. Payoff pitch, socked towards left, but right at Hext, who backpedals a couple of steps, and he's on the track, and he makes the catch.
109 off the bat by Aloy. He just didn't get underneath it enough. That's the advantage of playing very deep. He's hexed out in left field.
Feels like it's benefited them a couple of times with that positioning. Kendall Diggs walked in that big 3rd inning, popped up to the catcher David in the 2nd. Strike over the inside edge. Kendall has been in that cleanup spot. We saw him hitting 3rd yesterday. You know, Arkansas has had 7 different DHs this year. They've had 4 different catchers start. Left field, center field, I think they've had 3 each. But every day, you could put Kendall Diggs right field, 3-hole, 4-hole, maybe 2nd. And just let him ride.
Yeah, just Mr. Consistency of that lineup.
Big swing, big pop, backing out of play.
I think Morrow got away with one right there. That was a changeup right down the heart of the plate. Talk about the game of inches.
One out in the bottom of the 5th. Kind of slipped out of the hands of Morrow.
think out of the hand just kept going right.
And never in danger of being in the zone. Ripped to right, base hit over Lejeune in front of Duhan. Kendall Diggs has his first hit of the day, and the Razorbacks have a base runner, down a run in the 5th.
Yeah, back-to-back really well-hit balls. The 109 exit velocity by Vahiba Loy, about 102 right here with a little bit top spin by Kendall Diggs. You can see how deep that Lejeune was playing in the shallow right field. He still couldn't get to that baseball. It was hit so hard.
McLaughlin drove in a couple of runs with a base hit in the 3rd that put Arkansas up 4-0, and they were feeling pretty good. Ripped to right, feeling a little good here in the 5th as well. Back-to-back one-out singles by Diggs, and now McLaughlin.
Now how big is that ball hit right at the left fielder that Aloy hit right now?
Yeah, good point. That was well struck.
Arkansas has hit the ball on the screws. 104 by Benny Barrels.
Jared Sprague Lott will hit. Chopper to 3rd, maybe a chance for 2, and Trahan has it go under his glove. So instead of a double play or a force at 3rd, Diggs will score the tying run. That was unfortunate for McNeese.
Trahan really got caught in between hops, and I think he was trying to get the short hop to be able to try to turn 2, and sometimes you see some players try to do a little too much. See him really come up and aggressive on that play right there, allowing Diggs to come across and score. I think if he stays back, he for sure gets, he could even gone and stepped on 3rd and maybe gone across the diamond for the double play, but
Kind of swiped at it, didn't
yeah, he really did. Kind of a little matador defense there.
Problem is, in that situation, not only do you not get a chance at a double play of the force, but then you look up, you don't get anybody out. And now Souza will bat. He struck out 2 times in 1 inning, the 4-run frame. Pitch is down, blocked by David. So a 5-5 game in the 5th inning. We've got a lot of baseball left here
Yeah,
this
that's
afternoon.
Tell you what, these Cowboys, they are coming out to play. They definitely don't play scared, and had a really good short memory on the 10-run rule game yesterday.
Just outside.
It's good quality at bat by Souza. Kind of swung at a pitch, almost hit his back foot, and then took a couple borderline pitches.
He's been patient on that outside corner.
Well, he's worked himself into a hitter's count. This is where you kind of shrink that strike zone. Souza really likes that baseball away, middle to away. I'd see him find a left center field gap right here.
Just 1 out this inning. Souza, very patient plate appearance the entire way, and the bases are full of Razorbacks again.
It's a really good job by the freshman, not being overly aggressive.
Hudson Whitetroy's walked twice, so how patient are you if there's a pitch down the middle early in the
And
sequence?
you take a hack.
He did.
That's a great pitch right there by Morrow. Coming up the first pitch slider. Hudson White might see a steady diet of that. If you're Ben McLaughlin over 3rd base, you got to be on your toes. You might get one down in the dirt, might kick away from the catcher. Nice adjustment by Hudson White, letting that one go.
5-5 game, 5th inning. Bases full of Razorbacks. Now White again continues to be patient here this afternoon.
I think after you've seen one and have taken one, then it's a little easier to take the second one.
I think you're right. Fastball, strike, outer portion of the zone. But a good call and a good pitch.
Boy, that really changed the complexion of this at-bat from being 3-1 to 2-2. And again, you're right. That is a pitcher's pitch up and away.
Big pitch here. White will lift one foul down the line and right. This is bending out of play. So you think about that error at third base, though, Troy. I mean, this frame could be over. And now the question is, how many more could Arkansas score to take it full advantage of that mistake?
Yeah, this is a critical time right here for both ball clubs. And if you're Hudson White, you just really got to see that baseball big and try to lay off anything that breaking ball down and away.
Another pop-up. Will it drift into the seats? Keaton is over. Fan in the second row bobbled it, but Keaton almost had a play. That man did have a play, and he'll pick it up. Gonna pick out somebody to get the baseball.
I was a little surprised that Keaton did try to lunge into the crowd. I mean, that's only 2 rows back.
I thought maybe once he got to that railing so early that he might be able to kind of propel himself in.
That's the pitch right there that Hudson White missed.
It's one he'd like to have back, I'm sure.
You might see one down and away right here.
Morrow to White. Big pitch, big strikeout. 2 gone.
Yeah, that's the difference of missing the pitch before that was the hanging breaking ball. Morrow with a really good, sharp one. Out of his hand, it was already a ball. See White really trying to get out there to it. I know you're not a big fan of this, Brett, but you might even see Wilmsmeyer try to drag bunt for a base hit right here. Trahan, the third baseman, is playing about 10 feet behind the bag at third.
Tell you what, Morrow keeps kind of pushing those sliders off that outside corner to see how far these hitters might be able to expand or chase. One run home this inning. Hawks have loaded them up. And Morrow would like to walk that tightrope and get to the other side and end this inning. I believe if you assume that out was going to be at third base on the air, that would make this run Arkansas scored unearned if Wilmsmeyer's retired. Regardless, 5-5 game.
I think you're Ty Wilmsmeyer again. You've got to see the pitch up in the zone. If it comes out of the hand and it is down, you got to let that thing go.
Again, I think you have to work on that outside corner or try to shoot one into right field at this point because he's consistently kind of hitting his spot right now.
Yeah, he is living with that slider. It's about 2 baseballs off the plate.
Two to Wilmsmeyer. And he came a little bit up and in and just about got strike 3.
Runners are going to get a head start. If you're Wilmsmeyer, you have to think you're going to see a slider.
All 3 runners will be able to take off. Extra base hit should clear the bases. Morrow on a payoff to Wilmsmeyer. Into left base hit. It'll chase home 2 runs. Souza at third. Heading to second base is Wilmsmeyer. And Arkansas's back in front. It's 7-5. A 2-out, 2-strike, 2-run single by Wilmsmeyer.
That pitch caught just enough of the plate, and it was up just a little bit for Wilmsmeyer to pull that one right through the hole, through the 5-6 hole. Spraglott off with the pitch. He scores easily along with McLaughlin, and the Cowboys got the big swing. from Hext. Arkansas gets a big swing this inning from Ty Wilmsmeyer.
Indeed they do. Lovich is 0 for 3. He drives one high in the air, deep right field, to the wall. Goodbye. The first Razorback home run for Ross Lovich is a 3-run shot. And the Hogs have put up a half dozen in the inning. Think he's fired up?
Lovich got a pitch up in the zone. It was a breaking ball that hung. He didn't absolutely crush it, but it was enough. It looks like a bomb in the book, and that is a big swing, Brett. And going back, how big is that E5 at third base right now? You said that is a lot of runs. Arkansas scored 5 that they could have erased if that ball was fielded.
Arkansas's 16th homer of the year. Peyton Stovall, 1 for 3 with an RBI and a base hit, is the 9th Razorback to hit this inning. (10-5) Arkansas just a moment ago is 5-4 Cowboys.
That's what the long ball can do for you. It
put some points on the board, doesn't it?
It really does. It's like getting fouled on a 3 and draining the free throw.
Yep.
4-point swing.
Stovall lifts one to center. Westenberg back, nearing the fence. He's got room to make the catch. Long loud out ends the 5th inning, but Arkansas scores 6. Yeah, that was a busy inning. I would say when you spring forward, you get 1 less hour of sleep, and then you have an inning like that, 10 runs in a frame. Might have to have a halftime here. Halftime nap. Duhan takes strike 1.
So I sit there and watch Gage Wood. So he warms up all 8 of his warm-up tosses, and then he decides he wants a new baseball. Pitchers are just a little different, aren't they, Brett?
He's even right-handed. Serve towards right. Diggs will take it on the bounce.
And Duhan just keeps hitting.
He sure does. 3 yesterday, another base hit today. Gives him 23 hits on the season.
And see what it does if you're McNeese, it takes away that running game. And they love to put pressure on that opposing team's defense and pitching staff.
Dow had the double in the 5th that kind of kick-started that 4-run inning for the Cowboys. It's a good pitch down the chute at 93.
Gage Wood has really kind of calmed things down for Arkansas. The bullpen is very quiet down there in the shadows.
Cowboys have stolen a couple of bases today. Duhan's got that stash all waxed up for a Sunday. Can't leave the hotel or the apartment, right, unless that thing's looking good. Wave it a miss. Dow will chase, strike out. First out here in the 6th. Just a little extra bend or twist to that stash today?
I think so. I
Maybe
think,
a
you could open an old Coke bottle with that mustache. It's got some stiffness to it. He definitely likes to dance over there at first base. He is shuffling off and hopping back. Anything to try to distract the pitcher. He is all over the place at first base. And again, you got to try to get in that pitcher's head. Gage Wood is doing a pretty good job of just kind of forgetting about Duhan over there at first when you've got a 5-run lead. Makes it a little easier.
Strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Gage Wood.
Took a little something off that one. Almost looked like he turned over that fastball. A little run on that one. Kind of came inside to David.
Gage Trahan walked and scored last inning. Another good pitch from Gage Wood. It seems like he's getting a little bit stronger as this outing progresses.
Yeah, he is kind of like one of those running backs that just keep feeding him the football, and carry after carry gets stronger and stronger.
Comebacker. Wood has a pop out of his glove, has to pick up the pace a bit, and he threw a strike to McLaughlin. How many plays has he made this weekend coming off the bat?
Man, he has been really slick over there. Gage Wood thought he had that ball in his glove. It pops out.
Back, Saloy leads off the bottom of the 6th. Chopper to third. Trahan stabs at it, but comes up with it, and the throw will keep Keaton on the bag. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Morrow's still doing a good job. He is. They're going to just ride him as long as they can. There is some activity in the Cowboy bullpen. A right-hander warming up, or already warm.
Dix has one of the 8 Razorback hits. Fastball carried off the corner and missed.
I just feel like Diggs is going to have another big swing right here, at least in this at bat.
Well placed on the outside corner again at 91 on the gun. Cowboys picked 5th preseason in the Southland Conference. Conference slate will be here soon enough.
I think they're going to do a little bit better than that, especially when they get healthy.
I do too.
Nichols, I believe, is pick number 1.
Oh, you're breaking down the Southland
Yeah.
Conference. I see.
Lamar and then New Orleans.
I was just a bit confused looking at the Cowboys schedule. Next weekend they play Northwestern. The following weekend they play Northwestern State.
That'll get you scratching your head. Okay, this could be a big swing right here by Diggs. He might come out of his shoes.
Diggs will take the walk.
Stays patient. If they're going to give you a free base,
There you go. Break it down for me, Troy. Go.
Well, that's about all I know. Is Nichols is always really solid. How about Incarnate Word coming up the 4th spot?
San Antonio.
DVH coached at Northwestern State, along with many other SEC former head coaches.
Kind of the cradle of college baseball coaches.
I'm telling you, you go through there, you're probably going to have a pretty good success moving on.
Couple of hits for McLaughlin. 2 more runs batted in. Smoked to center for a base hit. McLaughlin has 3 singles in the game. Hawks have a little more traffic on here in the 6th.
How about a ball that's hit so hard that you see where Dow, the second base or shortstop's playing? It's hit so hard he can't even get to that ball. He's almost right behind second base. He barely reacts. That's 108 off the bat of Ben McLaughlin.
You know, for the Grambling game, it felt like their shortstop was in the line of sight for about 5 line drives. There were somewhere between 12 and 14 balls hit over 100 miles an hour in 6 innings. And you can be in the right spot when a ball's hit 105 plus and you're still not going to get it.
Yeah, it's just.
That's their nickname. He's in this game with a couple of base runners aboard and 1 out. Facing Sprague Lott, who reached on an error last inning by the third baseman Trahan. Troy, that's probably the biggest twist and turn in this game.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest kind of non-play. Really changed the complexion I mean, that could have been a double play ground ball.
Ten runs, 9 hits for the Razorbacks. 5 runs on 6 hits for the Cowboys. Kennedy's front door curveball misses.
A lot of horizontal break with that big sweeping slider that Kennedy throws. The problem with that is it stays in the strike zone for a long time.
High inside strike given to Kennedy, 2-1. Diggs at second, McLaughlin at first. I really feel like there's been a concerted pitching effort by the Cowboys to stay off the corners, down in the zone, off that outside edge to these hitters to see if they might chase, stay away from the wheelhouse.
Yeah, the first game they did a really nice job of that. And for the most part, about halfway through the second game, game 2, and then they started getting the ball up. And again, that nice play by the fan right there.
But isn't that your fear, right? You can execute that a lot. And then you miss once. Ball backs up, something stays over the plate, and 3 score on 1 swing.
Yeah, a little bit release point off just a hair.
Here's the payoff. That is high, and the bases are loaded again. 3 straight base runners after the first hitter, Aloy, was retired.
Give me a guess real quick with how many walks do you feel like the Cowboys pitchers have given up in this ballgame?
In this game?
This game.
7-ish?
6. That's good.
Okay. Felt like maybe I'm sensing one here. I don't know.
Souza with a pair of strikeouts and a walk. He wants to get a hold of something.
Good breaking ball for strike 1. Hogs were down 5-4 last inning. They had a 4-0 lead, down 5-4, now up 10-5, and they could jump that up with a big swing. Souza loves to rifle balls to left center, kind of towards the 375 sign here at Baum Walker. If he does so now, he would score 3. Strike at the bottom of the zone again.
Yeah, there's a really big hole in that left center field gap. Westenberg, the center fielder, he's a couple steps to the right of second base.
A lot of real estate out there.
That's a lot of green.
2-2. Souza laid off the non-fastball.
Souza has seen a lot of spin in this at-bat.
Bases full of Razorbacks. Oh, that just missed. Almost came around and caught that outside edge.
I don't think Souza's eye is that good. I think he just took a pitch that just missed.
I would agree.
About 1 baseball off the plate.
He'll take it. Payoff pitch to Souza. That bounced. Well, that's the 7th walk. I was 1 ahead at the time, and that's an RBI for Souza. 11-5 Razorbacks.
That was a little foreshadowing on your part,
Maybe.
right?
Had a sense.
Now batting for the Razorbacks, number 8, Hudson White.
You've mentioned it a couple times, Brett, but boy, you talk about the complexion of a game changing in just almost feels like a split second.
And we see it more often than not. You know, I like to say that usually the winning team has more runs in 1 inning than the losing team does for a game. Well, when you score 6 runs in an inning, that could be the case. It's 11-5. Usually 1 big frame or half inning kind of decides our 9-inning contest. And usually for a big inning, there has to be either free base runners, maybe a mistake.
Yeah, you're right. There's been several walks in this inning and last inning alone.
1-2 now to Hudson White.
How good of a job have these Cowboy catchers done of just
Fantastic.
saving runs and just blocking and smothering baseballs. They're not trying to catch them off the hop. They're just shifting that body, getting out in there, and knocking those baseballs down.
Deadening the ball. I mean, there's one thing if you knock it down and it rolls
Right.
10, 15 feet away, it still might mean an advancement or a run.
Well, it's shifting that body and pushing that baseball back toward home plate. And that's the art of catching.
1-2 to White, drilled in. RBI the hard way. 12-5 Razorbacks. Souza walked to force in a run. That was a thud when it hit White. It's the third time today he's been on with a free pass of some sort. Walker hit HBP.
As a hitter, you can almost see White's reaction like, I can't believe you just hit me. And then you start thinking about it and going, he doesn't want to hit me with bases loaded.
No, I was down 0-2.
Yeah, he's like,
He should say mahalo. Thank you.
yes. We talked about somebody that had a big swing for Arkansas. How about Ty Wilmsmeyer in that last inning, in the 5th inning? The bases loaded, the base hit between third and short.
Yeah, he's knocked in a couple of runs and a couple of base hits. Kind of takes you back to what he did on opening day from that 9-hole. Gave Arkansas a huge boost. I think it was actually game 2. It was that Saturday where he had 3 hits and 5 RBIs and a homer from the 9-hole, and then robbed a home run for good measure.
Yeah, that was a heck of a game. This is going to bring out Justin Hill, the head coach, and have a conversation.
Wilmsmeyer sees that one go to the backstop. Spraglott will score the lucky 13th for the Razorbacks. Not much David could do with that one.
Kate Hart just a little amped up with that one. Now Wilmsmeyer's got the 3-0 count. I'm sure he's got the red light.
I guess you took those beer hats off for a split second and then you put them right back on. Yep, see, there you go.
Yep.
You took them off after the wild pitch. Now you got to put those things back on your head.
The new look is just leave the hat on, leave your baseball hat, and just put the beer hat over the
guess.
hat. There you go.
That one's seen a few games at Baumwalker. Wilovich had a 3-run homer last inning. His first as a Razorback. Hit one out to right. Edge of the bullpen. Now he bats with the bases loaded.
Still just one out.
Ross has made the most out of his opportunities to play. He was trying to make the most out of a big swing. There's the home run from just 1 inning ago. Up, out, gone.
Have to slow that swing down just a little bit.
Chopper to second. Lejeune will flip to second. Safe at first. Another run comes across. The 14th for the Razorbacks. That was not your typical double play roller.
Yeah, a little fister by Lovich, and Souza comes across and scores. Not really a good opportunity for Lejeune and Dow to try to roll that one. Look at what are they bringing out the runner off at second base? Are they saying maybe that?
Arkansas is challenging to call out at second base. Is under review.
Maybe they're going to say that Dow, the shortstop, didn't get his foot on the bag, or
14-5. This is an interesting
Yeah.
review. I guess if Arkansas would score another run, it would bring the run rule into play in the top of the 7th. Hogs have had a 4-run inning, a 6-run inning, and they've scored 4 this frame. I think you kind of run out of gas when you're on the road like the Cowboys this weekend. And
well, with so many injuries as
Yeah.
well too, that does not help.
But from a pitching standpoint, you throw out some good arms in game 1 and 2, and once you get a little deeper into the bullpen with any team, then it becomes a little less predictable.
Or effective, yes.
Yeah, that's another good word, too. All right, let's take a look at second base. Close enough, I say. I don't know. Did he hop off? This might be a little better look. That's an out.
I think he's out.
That's an out. I think this is the one thing that replay has done that I think frustrates most people. The pop-up slide or the play, you know, used to give a little benefit of the doubt coming off that base, but
right.
Now if it's an inch off, I don't know if that was the intention of the rule. Go ahead.
The call of out at second base is confirmed. Arkansas loses the challenge and has one remaining.
Yeah, that wasn't even in the category of in the vicinity of second base.
Close enough.
That's the one that you're not even in the same zip code.
Peyton Stovall will be the 9th man to hit this inning.
Peyton is 1 for 4. He'd love to get another knock.
Driven in 4 runs in a couple of days. 3 games. Looks at strike 1 from Hart.
The Cowboys are not even holding Lovich on at first base, so Keaton, the first baseman, he's almost playing shallow right field against Stovall.
Stroke to center. Westenberg will play it on a bounce. Another base hit for Stovall. Another RBI, and the Hogs have a 10-run lead in the bottom of the 6th.
Well, it's good for Arkansas fans to see Peyton Stovall swinging the bat well.
I feel like his timing's really good after just 3 games.
Yeah, I really do. It seems like he stayed back. That was a changeup up in the zone. That's not easy to stay back on. See Hudson White crossing the plate right there. Another RBI for Peyton Stovall.
Aloy started this inning by grounding out. If he would make it out here, the 2 Hawaiians would have an inning which they'd each make 2 outs while Arkansas put up big numbers.
I don't think Vahiva wants to hear that.
Yeah.
I think he's going to for sure get his hacks in.
No, he wants to do some damage. Knocked in a run with a single in the 3rd. Good breaking ball. For strike 1 from Hart. I want you to spend some time going back into the MLB annals and see if you can give me a swing comp or a stance comp for Vahiva. And I'm not going to require it today. That's your homework.
Okay. All right. I'll take that.
You got a lot going on, so you may not have unlimited number of hours like I do to sit up at night and watch old videos, but of hitters. But see if you can come up with something.
I mean, the hands are one thing, but the up on the toe of the front foot is unique as well. Trying to find that combination. It's very unusual, but my goodness, he generates a lot of torque and power. A little bit of a coil right there.
Hey, when Vahiva gets a walk, as DVH told us earlier this year, when you take your pet to the dog park and you pat him on the back when he does something well, you want that positive affirmation of the walk. The bases are loaded.
I think free swinger is a good way to describe Vahiva Aloy.
But if he can lay off that pitch,
yeah, I agree.
And people have to come over the plate.
Watch out.
Kendall is singled, walked twice, scored a pair of runs.
And this is what's impressive for Kendall Diggs is in this at-bat right here, he is still being extremely patient. It's a 10-run ball game. It's the bottom of the 6th. You can give away this at-bat, but not Kendall Diggs. I guess after hitting 299 last year, he's not giving away any at-bats.
Well said.
He is going to stay locked in because he knows Dad's going to rib him if he doesn't hit over 300 this year.
Even when he takes a pitch, sometimes he'll watch that ball the entire way into the catcher's glove. You're tracking that with that head swivel back, kind of see where it finishes. Then you rip bullets into right field for a hit. It'll chase home a run, maybe two. The throw to third hits the diving Vahiva Lawyer. He might have been out. And the Hogs have plated 17 runs.
I think that almost kind of sums up this weekend for the Cowboys. I mean, Duhan does a great job. That ball is a bullet, 107 off the bat of Kendall Diggs. You can see he just stayed on that baseball. But Duhan comes up and makes a smart throw. He goes, instead of trying to get the runner out at the plate, he's going to cut down Aloy. He throws one right on the money, and it bounces and hits Aloy in the back. And again, if you're the Cowboys, you're just trying to scratch your head saying, when is something good going to happen for us?
Get the benefit of a good bounce. McLaughlin fouls one back. Well, Ben has a chance for a 4-hit game. Chance for a 4-single game. (17-5) Razorbacks, so this may very well be a 7-inning game.
So 7 runs have scored this inning for Arkansas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 have been off a walk or a hit batter.
The fuel for the fire. Big wave and a miss.
Those free base runners just come back to haunt you.
Fouled back by McLaughlin, whose average has jumped from 320 to 352.
3 for 4 will do it for you.
It'll certainly help. (17 runs on 11 hits, more to your point. Updating, maybe more. Sliced into the gap in left center. It's down for a hit. It'll score a run to make it an 18-5 Razorback lead. Benny Barrows has a 4-hit game.
It's just such an impressive swing. The barrel stays in the zone for like a day. Look at this. That's not even a strike he hits to left center
That's
field.
a pitcher's pitch.
That is a pitch that's about 2 baseballs below the strike zone. And you know you're hitting the ball well when you're hitting balls that aren't even strikes for base hits.
What is that little maneuver?
I don't know. Have to ask him on Tuesday.
Little wave to the dugout. Sprague takes strike one. (18-5) Razorbacks. Remember when it was 5-4 Cowboys? Wasn't that long ago.
No, it wasn't.
Not the swing that he wanted there. Hart stumbled, still made the play, and that's a good effort to end a very long inning. Arkansas gets 8 in the
Mechanical things on last season after that Tommy John surgery.
Well, it was May 3rd of last year.
Yeah.
So you're coming back in
Really quick.
basically 10 months. At the time he had the surgery, I heard that it was really good shape. It was clean. In other words, it gave you some optimism that it could be sooner than later. But last year, a 3.65 earned run average out of the pen in 37 innings. Walked only 11. He was also 6-0. I know in this new era we don't care about wins, or we find them somewhat random, but he was a part of a lot of big victories for the Razorbacks. And I think Wood probably could have finished the game, but this is a perfect opportunity to get Dylan Carter in there.
Yeah, I think so. I love this move by Coach Van Horn. He patted Gage Wood on the back and said, nice job. But this is why I'm going to the junior right-hander. And you're right, this is an opportunity. There's not a lot of stress in this situation.
Hexta's the batter. Tripled in a couple of runs in the 5th inning. And when he would score, it was 5-4 Cowboys in the 5th. So Arkansas has run off 14 unanswered.
Yeah, I think that's right.
It's a lot of numbers. Liner to right to Diggs. Leaping grab, 2 outs. Hogs had an 8-inning run rule victory yesterday in game 2 of the doubleheader. They're about to get a 7-inning run rule victory here for the sweep.
Oh, smoked by Hex right at Kendall Diggs, about 108 off the bat.
Good to see Dylan Carter back out there. An arm to build towards nearing conference play. Kind of put a bow on the sequence, though, in Lake Charles. Just strong people. They're used to hurricanes, able to build back. And coaches just got in their offices not that long ago, so it's been a longer process than maybe you would think. Win a lot of games in their conference. They were competitive for junctures of this series, but in danger of being swept in Arkansas. This is kind of what they do, though, Troy, to be able to run up some win totals. You take care of business at home.
Yeah, they've really just kind of feasted on opponents here at Baum-Walker Stadium. The velocity's still there. That's 94.
Well, quite honestly, DVH said that he was throwing 92 last year, and he felt like now that he's come back, he's actually throwing harder.
Yeah, it looks like it. Carter's always had that real short arm motion, kind of like a Gage Wood. Has that real tight slider, a true slider.
Fastball strike outside corner, 94 MPH.
Well, that's another element that Arkansas has. You talk about some horses in that bullpen, that starting rotation as well.
Cowboys down to their final strike. Liner to third, spared by Sprague Lott. And the Hogs will take it 18-5 in 7 innings today to sweep